Of course, there's tactics and all that, but if you get bogged down in those details, you'll never take action. That's why it's start messy. That's why ready is a lie. That's why you punch fear in the face and you press record. That's why your first videos are your worst videos.
When it comes to making your best videos yet, there's actually 5 things that are holding you back. And in this episode, we are going right at it. This is probably my favorite episode so far on the Think Media podcast because we are crushing all the excuses. My name is Heather Torres, and you're listening to the Think Media podcast, the #1 podcast to help you grow your influence on YouTube and then turn that influence into a high impact and high profit online business. And today is a no miss episode. You're going to want to make sure that you listen to the entire thing because Sean is bringing the fire. I don't want to wait too long, so let's jump into the featured content and then talk about it afterwards.
What's up and welcome back to the Think Media podcast. Sean Cannell here, and I'm super fired up for this episode, but I need to warn you, you got to buckle your seatbelt because I hope that sometimes you get great tactics on this podcast. At other times you get encouragement on this podcast, but today you're going to probably get a little called out on this podcast because there's 5 things that I see that hurt YouTube creators' success. I see these 5 things that hurt entrepreneurs' success and hold them back. And because I'm obsessed with helping you win, I can't be silent about these things. And so know that this is coming in a spirit of love, but sometimes you might need to hear a little tough love. And these are deadly traps that keep people from growing on YouTube. And I've got 5 of them. Let's get right into it. Number 1, complaining. You need to stop complaining. Like, complaining is a hindrance to you. And I see so many creators spend so much energy complaining. Listen, complaining is not a strategy. It is not helping you to just talk about how hard things are, how bad things are. There's maybe a time where you vent to your friends, but even that energy, that's not helping you grow your channel. Because think about it, you need to be creating, not complaining. You'd be surprised how many people will spend time in Discord, on Clubhouse, in the comments, in emails, even on Talk with Think or whatever. Again, just talking about how hard things are and how bad their situation is. And I'm not trying to come with a lack of empathy today, but I'm here to tell you that complaining is a hindrance. You can either be creating or complaining. You can't do both. And so many people get held back by complaining. Not only that, complaining is a turnoff if you ever want to build something of significance. We never follow leaders that just complain all the time. We follow people who look for solutions, don't just amplify and identify the problems. And when you're complaining, you are actually making sometimes small issues bigger, as opposed to thinking about the possibilities, not the problems. I want to encourage you, if you want to trigger growth and get unstuck, challenge yourself. Try to not complain this week. Shoot, that's a long time. Try to just go a day without complaining and focusing on the possibilities. And I believe you will trigger growth and escape the deadly trap of complaining. The second one is over-consuming. Yeah. While you're listening to the Think Media podcast, I'm like telling you to stop listening to content. Maybe finish these 5 tips and then get to work. But one trap that gets a lot of YouTube creators stuck in is you keep watching videos on YouTube. You spend all these hours on Clubhouse rooms listening to people talk. You're watching all this content. You're watching this person, that person. You're over-consuming and you're not creating the videos that you need to create. If you want to know one of the major secrets to succeeding on YouTube, here's what it is. You have to actually post videos on YouTube. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I know that you come here for the advanced stuff. There you go. If you want to succeed on YouTube, post videos on YouTube. But if you're consuming all the time, then you are not posting. If you're consuming all the time, then you're not creating. I want to challenge you to create more than you consume. Is there a time to learn? Of course. Lifelong leaders are lifelong learners. I consume content all the time. Like just like you probably. I know that it's smart to be smart and to get wisdom and to learn and to sharpen the axe and to learn from others and even at times to study the competition. But here's the test, friend. Are you over consuming? Have you been watching way too much YouTube? Or did you just get distracted and said, forget YouTube, I've just been on a Disney Plus, HBO Max, Amazon Prime, Hulu binge. I've just been jumping between the four. I've been all over the place. And if you stop and reduce your level of consumption and focus that energy, now you're not complaining. And now you're creating even more. The momentum that you're going to get on YouTube is after you post your next best video. The growth you're going to get on YouTube is on the other side of you posting your next best video. Stop the overconsumption and amp up your creation. Number 3 is excuses. Excuses. Excuses are a deadly trap that keep you stuck. Listen, you can always find an excuse. You can find a reason too. You can either find a reason or you can find an excuse. You don't want to be known as somebody who's like amazing at coming up with excuses. You know what I mean? Like what's like their greatest skill? Like they are just phenomenal at coming up with excuses. Like no noble person was ever encouraged in that way. It is not a skill set. You might have that skill set. Your kids probably have that skill set. Man, they're so remarkable at coming up with excuses. Benjamin Franklin put it this way: he that is good at making excuses is seldom good for anything else. You can either have excuses or you can have results. You can't have both. George Washington put it this way: 99% of failures come from people who have the habit of making excuses. This is all an energy game. You can give your energy to complaining. You could give your energy to watching what everybody else is doing and comparing yourself and looking at what everybody else is doing and watching and over-consuming. And you can give your energy to excuses. There's something about sitting down. If you find, audit your conversation, audit the vibe of the people you hang out with, audit the vibe of the clubhouse rooms you're in, audit the vibe of the way in your energy and comments. If you're investing all of this energy in excuses, then you're not investing energy in creating. Are you getting enough tough love yet? I want you to hear my heart. I want you to win. And I just see way too many people get held back by just making excuses. If you really want to do it, you just do it. There's no excuses. If you really want to do it, just do it. In fact, don't talk about it. Talk less, do more. One of the pet peeves as a rabbit trail that's kind of on the same theme is people who declare what they're about to do. A lot of people who are just, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to launch a new project. Why don't you go launch the project instead of saying you're going to launch the project? And then, why haven't you uploaded lately? I don't know, man. The economy. Like, what does the economy have to do with you uploading or not? Like, if you've got the tools and the internet connection still, I was busy, Well, of course you were. Who's not busy? I just kind of was tired. Of course you're freaking tired, dude. Everyone's tired. Like, life is hard. I got in a fight with my wife. Every couple fights, you got to figure out how to get past. Well, I don't know, the competition is other people that they're posting videos. Yeah, but you're never going to be able to break through unless you start posting videos. Someone already started. I'm thinking about starting my channel, but then I just saw someone else and, you're making excuses. Stop the madness and stop the excuses. If you want momentum, excuses are going to drag you down and slow you down, which brings us to number 4, overthinking. Yeah. Overthinking. 5 deadly traps that keep you from growing on YouTube. Overthinking. Man, how real is this? So many people we get to coach and encourage and connect with, their overthinking is like their superpower. Like, it's like, well, what if, should I name my channel this, or this? And should I start on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a Friday? Should I upload my 5 videos in the first week and then 1 video a week? And I'm like, dude, who cares? Just post a video. Yeah, but like, should the video be 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, or 12 minutes? Dude, you're freaking overthinking. Of course there's tactics and all that, but if you get bogged down in those details, you'll never take action. That's why it's start messy. That's why ready is a lie. That's why you punch fear in the face and you press record. That's why your first videos are your worst videos. Yeah, but like, should my first video be about me, or should it be like a product review, or should my first do them all? Do what? Please do something. Yeah, but like, what should I? It's kind of like summer now. Maybe I should like wait until it's back to school to post my. No, do both. Take freaking action. Stop pondering and start posting. Okay? Stop procrastinating and start posting. My friend John Acuff has a new book, highly recommend it. It's called Soundtracks. It's about overthinking. And of course, we always drop resources in the show notes. Overthinking isn't a personality trait. It's the sneakiest form of fear. Yeah. Really what overthinking is fear. This is from John Acuff's book. It steals time, it steals creativity, and it steals your goals. It's a deadly trap. Your fear is manifesting in, I don't know, like it's like raining today. Maybe I shouldn't shoot a video. You're shooting the video inside. Yeah, I just like saw that maybe the stock market, dude, who cares about the stock market? Post your video. Yeah, but like, I'm not very good on camera. Either was I. So post some bad videos to get to your good videos. Yeah, but like, what if a meteorite that I saw on Joe Rogan like actually hits the planet in 2 months from now? Because if it does, then the 2 months of me posting YouTube videos won't matter because mankind will be extinct from the meteorite that might hit the... Well, of course, okay. Then it won't really matter, will it? So you might as well just post videos anyways. If you have any ambition at all to start YouTube, then freaking start YouTube and stop overthinking. Are you getting anything out of this video yet? We got one more, but these are reasons you stay stuck. And I hope that you hear my heart. I want you to win. Complaining is not helping you. Over-consuming is not helping you. Excuses are not helping you. And overthinking is not helping you. The fifth one, and this is one of the most insidious enemies of all, this is a deadly trap, is the trap of comparison. Whew. Man, comparison is the thief of joy, right? Don't compare your beginning. John Acuff said this, don't compare your beginning to somebody else's middle. A huge reason why we stay stuck and even over-consuming is we get into this loop. Let me know if you can relate. You start watching some YouTube videos because you're doing reconnaissance, right? You're overthinking. You're also procrastinating and you're making excuses to post because I need to learn more still. I need to study my niche more. I need to like look at what's happening. Okay, so now you're watching, but now you're starting to compare. Now you're like, oh my gosh, she's just like such a better talker than me. Like he just seems to know his stuff better than me. Shoot, man, now I found like 10 personal finance channels. Why should I start a personal finance channel? Like, so now you're comparing yourself to everybody else. So you're in this loop of overconsumption and you're comparing yourself to everything you're consuming, further stealing your own confidence from actually posting your own video. So then you're like, man, I need to get off YouTube. So you get on Instagram and start swiping and comparing yourself. Now you're comparing your life, you're comparing your kids, you're comparing your situation, you're comparing yourself to people who are starting, people who haven't started. You're making up scenarios because you don't even really know what's going on in anybody's life. You don't know what's going on in their YouTube channel. You don't know why they're getting views, why they go viral. Maybe they had a bunch of money and someone actually paid for ads on their video. You're making up scenarios to reduce yourself and to put others on pedestals. And in this loop of comparison, which is robbing your energy and keeping you stuck. It's a deadly trap. The goal here is to create and to not compare. And if you see a theme of what is the response to any of these is to not complain, but to create instead and to post videos. To not overconsume content, but to make sure you create more than you consume. To not sit around and architect your excuses, but to architect your next piece of content and your next YouTube video and to post that instead. To not overthink and stay planning your video forever, but to stop researching at some point and then to actually press record and create the video, and to not spend time wandering through every single social media channel just comparing yourself to everybody else, but turning off the comparison and turning up the creation and posting the video. I hope that after this episode, you are motivated to kill these deadly traps and these enemies, and to just keep posting videos, to put blinders on, to put your head down, and to say, I'm making a decision today that I'm not going to let these energy vampires drain my emotional strength, drain my confidence, drain my feelings of myself, that I need the confidence and the bravery and the energy I need to even create content. I'm not going to give it away any longer, and I'm going to stay focused and create the content that I need to create. Never forget that your energy is limited. You only have so much, and you got to give some to yourself. You got to give some to your family. You got to give some to your kids. You got to give some to your studies. You got to give some to your job. Man, the energy you have left over to create the YouTube content you need to create and to build your YouTube empire, man, it's limited. So you got to protect it. And if you're wasting it, it's no surprise that you have no energy left at the end of everything else. And it's not because of your kids, and it's not because of your family, although those are probably influencing it. No, it's because on top of all that, you're giving your energy to overconsumption, excuses, overthinking, comparison, and complaining. So channel it instead into creating your next best video. And I promise you, friend, you're going to experience a whole nother level of momentum on YouTube when you get away from these deadly traps and you go all in on creating your next best video.
Whew. All right. Coach Sean was here, and I hope that that was something that encouraged you, even though it was hard to hear sometimes. You know, for me specifically, it's things like comparison that hold me back, but I am for sure an overthinker. I want to think through the entire process. I want to overthink the video that I'm doing, and I just have to punch fear in the face and press record. I was even challenged this week where Sean said, Heather, you should just make this video. And instantly when he said that, I had 10 things in my head as to what I needed to think about or what I needed to do before that video could be this magic word, perfect. And perfectionism is holding us back. The overthinking of these videos is holding us back from creating great work. So a lot of times, most of the time, hear me, friend, you just need to do the work. You just got to get the videos out because you need to be creating a lot of content to become great at creating content. Even us doing this podcast here, me actually doing the intro to this podcast, I messed up several times, but it's just knowing that you can just get back up and get going again. So I hope that this episode brought you value. And if you liked this episode, please make sure to subscribe here to the podcast, as well as leave a comment if you're listening on YouTube, and rate and review us over on Apple iTunes. This helps us get this podcast in front of more purpose-driven content creators just like you. We want to help the entire YouTube world learn how to do YouTube right. All the people who want to get on YouTube, we want to help them do that the right way. And so if you want to share this with a friend, that would be helpful. But I would love for you to leave a comment over on Apple iTunes, rate and review, and you might be featured on a future episode. Today's episode feature comes from streetsoldiers.com. Sean and his team are very genuine and care. You help people grow their business and their audience. Highly recommend. Well, thank you so much for leaving that comment, and I hope to read your comment on a future upcoming episode. Also, if you've not taken our Think Masterclass, make sure you sign up at thinkmasterclass.com, where you can learn the 3 secrets to success on YouTube and learn how to do YouTube right. And at the end of that class, you'll have an opportunity to join us on a deeper level inside of our Video Ranking Academy, the #1 community for YouTubers and online content creators. So make sure you check out that free class and get signed up for Video Ranking Academy if it's right for you. Well, thank you so much for being a part of our Think community. Thank you for listening to this podcast, and I cannot wait to see you in a future episode.